slowly falling down cooler闇へ but never going back touch 向かえどうして高く上げてなお大ボーナなんてもうグッバイしょこりもなくファイナカマと Need another day I will run away from nothing no more どこまでも抗って go on 今超えてく Also ready to break it up I'm not afraid yeah break it Keep it point in the dark 自分の力に変え wipe out 今ねじ曲げる視線 I never fall in I never ever care for them 今立ち向かう and I defeat myself I got ghosts, keep myself safe from back foot I got ghosts, keep myself see a suspect Time away from me, stop my shadow Smoke, let us set my tongue on a surface I could Nobody knows, cause I can't flow Live fast for the
Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. Although I'm showcasing the Boondocks, this relates to Uncle Ruckus. But I'm not going to be making a video simply on Uncle Ruckus. I'm talking about reality right now because Dragon Patriot Remix brought this to my attention. And I want to make a video about black people who are Uncle Toms. I'm going to eventually have to figure out the title, but yeah, there's this guy named Antoine defending a racist who happens to be your friend, and then and basically, and I don't want to say this, but he truly is a house slave for this. But like, whenever Daniel Rolfe would tell Antoine to like basically block someone, he would immediately do it, or he'd tell him to defend him, he'll outright do it. Like, that goes to show, like, and if people are wondering why this is a problem, because I don't care like what race my friends are. I don't care what the race of people that I work with. But if you're doing it to, again, this mainly goes for black people. If you're a black person trying to get a white person's like approval or whatever by basically kissing their ass, kissing down on their feet, whatever, and you do whatever they tell you to do, or you always think they're right because they're white, you clearly are a sick, delusional person. You definitely need to seek some mental health, because down there they're not always gonna have your back. Eventually they're gonna discard you for somebody else. Others, once they realize you're not any, once they see you're of no value, they have no reason to come forward and ask for your assistance. So this isn't just about Antoine. I've had my experience in real life, because there was a black guy I mentioned named Tristan, who really is Uncle Tom. But the thing about Uncle Ruckus, at least he has a reason to be an Uncle Tom though. But the thing is about this guy named Tristan, funny enough, he starts with the letter T, like Uncle Tom. Even though I had proof that his friend was a racist, I shown the text messages, including like his name, everything, and he was able to match his phone number. Even after all that proof, it still wasn't enough. He still tried to like defend his racist friend and act like that his friend was gonna betray him. Like, he's crazy. And seriously, some people like that need a wake up call. So some people may think it's just like a myth. There aren't black people who are like that. Unfortunately, there are. You just got to be able to see it to believe it, as well as hear it. But it's just sad though. Like, of course, you can call out the flaws that goes on within your community. You can call out the flaws within black people. If you're a black person yourself, regarding violence, crimes, playing the race card, getting involved with law enforcement, starting riots, stealing, not being there for their kids. I can understand that part, but there's no way I'm gonna side with a racist. The thing is, like, a racist is literally behind a murder and the P word, the pedophile, a predator. So racists are still one of the top, the worst people out there. Again, behind murders and predators, but with the file in it. So honestly, there must be something like that I'm missing. It's either the reason why some black people just end up being coons. It's either they're either being provided shelter, or they're forced to be that way um, outside their own free will. It could be the white people or the racists offering them like things that they can't avoid. But and it's funny, if I do know so with Uncle Tom's that they claim to have free will, but they really don't. It was just, and I agree with Dragon Patriot and what he said when he mentioned that. These coons, these Uncle Toms believe that they have free will, that they're making their own choices, but when you decide to take someone up on their favor because you like them because of their skin tone, or you find them trustworthy based on like what they did for you in the past, and you play favorites, that lets you know just the kind of person that you're dealing with. And they have no clue what they're doing. They seriously have no idea, and they feel it's in some sort of way in their sad delirious world that this is what they want. This is something that they dreamt for, what they hope for. But at the same time, those same people that they're supporting are constantly dragging them down, literally putting dirt in their mouth. And I honestly feel more people need to be more open about this. We need to talk about this. Although yes, Uncle Ruckus, he's a funny, iconic character of the Boondocks, but Aaron McGruder made a valid point when making this character, because there are fortunately black people like that who exist till this day. But the thing is, of course, it's a satire, but it's like at least Uncle Ruckus, you have something to laugh at. Well, with the majority of black people, you have something to be more disappointed at. Because although Uncle Ruckus may be a fictional character, he's there to like entertain the viewers. Especially if you're not in a good mood, you want something to laugh at. He's someone to look forward to. But I definitely don't have time for Uncle Tom's. And people like that really need to get their act together. And I think I mentioned this about the black guy Tristan. If he's watching this, like he hopefully he learns something from this, but he won't. Because, and I'm being serious, because the guy's an actual straight up coon for this. A straight up Uncle Tom. He's willing to defend a racist just because it happens to be a friend. And I'm still wondering to this day what he offered him for him to be so inclined to his demands. Because that's just very infuriating. It's very confusing. It literally makes no sense. He must have been clearly brainwashed. But again, if he's watching this video, like, I can't really hope. I should hope that he does change his ways and he can improve for the better. But especially adults nowadays, you can't really give them advice because they rather take their own. But the guy should really be ashamed. I would rather he be more ashamed of who he is than try to convince me otherwise. Because if people are trying to convince you that they change their ways, or they've gotten better, they did some self-improvements, it's really just a way to like manipulate you so that you can give them a second chance, and then they can go behind your back and take advantage of you. Because a lot of people these days, I've said this, they literally go back on their word. And even though it sounds like I'm not staying on topic, I am, because it is related to what I'm talking about. Like this is something that you guys need to know about Uncle Tom's and coons. And it's very, very precise. And it's very hard to explain too. It's not something that's easy. It's not only a lot of it started with slavery, let's be honest. When black people were basically oppressed to the point they felt like they were basically pets towards racists, and that They were taught to fight, be violent towards one another, and be looked at as like barbarians. And that's really not the case. When more black people should really look deep into themselves and figure what value they have in life and see what they're worth, rather than portraying themselves as that stereotype. And that's the big issue. And that's where I get to the very important part. Black people act a certain way because of how they're stereotyped, and that's why a lot of them have fear being called ghetto, violent, ignorant. So they feel they have to stay loyal towards white people. They have to be very insecure. They have to be wimps. They got to be very submissive. They have to do exactly what the white person tells them. If a white person says there's something wrong with the way a black person eats, the way they eat chicken, or how they drink, or how they talk, black people try to talk a certain way, eat a certain way in order to satisfy white people. And really, that's how it was. That's really how it started for black people. Throughout the oppression, the way their ancestors were treated, and the segregation. And I understand people want to fit in with others in order to like be able to feel human, in order to be in order to seek value. I understand that completely, full-heartedly. But you also try to be. It's better to be yourself. Do not try to portray yourself as someone just because of how society deems fit, and how society wishes to portray you as, and how they wish to see you become. And yeah, a lot of black people, may not be the majority, but there are a lot of black people out there. Now, they're not going to tell you directly, guys, but they are very submissive towards racists. Even though you have the ones, you see a lot of them on social media are very aggressive. They portray themselves as these big, badass, tough guys, macho fellas that can wreck people in fights with ease. And they always got a loyal community and a gang to basically contribute with them, as well as they influence. The people that they influence grow up to be like them, hoping one day they're able to like fit in their shoes. But this is just me talking out of reality, and people need to be more open about this. There's no keeping this hidden, because Uncle Ruckus is definitely a prime example. You could even claim Stinkmeaner, but it makes you realize like what goes down in like the black community, and why they act a certain way, or why they fear the system, and why they try so hard to fit in with racists, because they don't want to be stereotyped as those very hostile, aggressive black people that people seem to like heavily like criticize. And again, the N-word stands for negative, and that's why black people don't appreciate it. Because when you, not only is it to degrade black people, it's also being negative towards them too. So that's why they only prefer if black people call themselves the N-word, because they feel like that's just simply you telling them they're simply subhuman, they have nothing to offer. What else do they contribute besides violence? And that they're better off not fitting in like a civilized community, and society does not approve of them. So that's why they tend to be very hostile towards them that are calling them the N-word, like outside of black people. But some people black people can kind of relate when they call each other the N-word, so that's why they don't really see any issue about it. Because when we criticize our own race, or we call each other the N-word, we really see nothing wrong, because because we're alike, we're the same race. So we don't look at it as us like trying to put down each other like in the wrong way, but just calling each other out for like the negative stuff they do, and that we could try to look deep into this and basically try to ignore what other black people try to call us, and or the advice that we give each other, because some black people look at it as by calling the N-word as a way to like motivate us, or just letting us basically, again, just letting us know what our flaws are. But it's really hard, but again, very hard to explain like I'm doing right now, and I'm trying to be as open as I can, you guys, but just for you guys to understand why it's never okay, why black people don't appreciate it, you calling them the N-word. And it will continue that way, but like that's just the mindset of like of how society looks at it. But I always think that people who do have self-hate really need to look deep and then try to see what they're doing wrong, and just do more self-reflecting. And that's the best I can explain to you guys. But from here on out, I feel like I said enough, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.